Pesachim Daf. Today was my birthday, and I read many emails, probably close to 14 emails or more during share. I'm not going to read any of them. I'm just going to mention some of their names. Yaakov Rasner, Shlomi Klein, Dr. Dauber, Michael Lager, Eliezer Langer, Zevi Schupper, David Handler, Yoeli Elkan, Phil Rosenblatt, Rabbi Yehuda Brown, Yisrael Ausfresser, Calvin from the Five Towns, Yisrael Shalitsky, Mordechai Ashkenazi, Adam Labato, Michael Leichter, and Avi Sherman. Thank you all for all your wishes of Mazel Tov. I want to give everybody a bracha. You should use this year to get closer to the Rebbeinu Shalom through Torah, and we should all be zeichet to see a lot of nachas from our children. Shalom Bayis, Parnasa, and Gesund. We have a very, very interesting daf with many different types of halachas, of suffix, and different types of cases with mice and different colored mice. So the Gemara starts off, you have a pile of chametz and you have a mouse that takes chametz from this pile and goes into one of the two houses. One is a checked house, had a bedika, one is not. We don't know which one. What do? That's similar to the case of two people that walked on two paths. One of the paths certainly has a grave laying sideways, so one of the two is 100% tummy, one of the two is 100% tar. If they go by themselves, individually to the rabbi, he will paskin, the Rav will paskin that they're both tar. If they go together according to everybody, the Rav is going to have to say that they're both tummy. Since it looks, even though Midarai said the tar, because Safek Tumah B'Rosh Hashanah, this is a Rosh Hashanah, is tar, since it looks like it's a lie, he's going to have to paskin that they're tummy. The machlokes is, what if one of them went to the Rav and asked about his friend? Do we compare it to both of them being together? Because at the end of the day, if the Rav passes that they're both tar, it's a lie, looks like a lie. Or it's similar to one going by themselves, each one going individually, where the Rav could say to one of them, you are tar, and will understand from that that his friend is tar as well. What if we have a suffix if the mouse went into the house at all? So that's similar to another case of a bika, a valley during the rainy season where people don't walk there, so that the fields turn into Rishus Hayachid. No one has Rishus to use it as a shortcut. Somebody walked through, is not sure which field he walked through. One of the fields has a grave. Rabbi says that's a spek. We don't know, first of all, if he walked into the field. Second of all, if he did walk into the field, did he walk over the grave? He's tar. Chacham say he's tummy, that's considered one suffix. Did he walk over a grave? However, in our case of bdika, where we don't know whether or not the mouse came in, since the whole bdika is midrabanan, even Rabbanan agree over here that he doesn't have to do another bdika. What if he went into the house, searched for the chametz that was in the mouth of the mouse, came up empty, didn't find the chametz? According to Rameir, it's too bad. Search until you find it. You have a chazaka that is tuma until you figure out what happened to it. Chacham say no. You check the entire house. You dig a little bit until you hit a tough surface like a rock, and that's all you have to do. In this case, though, since it's b'dikas chametz midrabanan, everybody agrees you don't have to do another b'dika. What if you walk into the house, you find a piece of bread? You're not sure, is this the piece of bread that was in the mouth of the mouse's mouth, or maybe something else? That's similar to a case where there was a lost caver grave in a field, and you search for the grave. You found the grave. Do you stop there? Or perhaps there's another grave. You have to search the entire field. Machlokes. Rebbe says the grave that you found is the grave that went missing, and Reb Shimon Gamliel says no, you have to check the entire field. What if you left 9 pieces of bread and you found 10? Tosfos explains these questions are talking about that the bread is tied together. So that's similar to the case where a person leaves 100 zuz and he finds of Meiser Sheni money, has Kedusha, and he finds 200. Is the entire 200 Kaddish, like Meiser Sheni, or do we say we have Chulin and Meiser Sheni mixed here? So Rebbe says that it's a mixture. Chacham say what you're looking at is not 100 plus another 100. This is different money completely. Therefore, it's all Chulin. What happens if in the reverse? You left 10 pieces of bread, you came back and you found 9. That's like you left 200 zuz of Meiser Sheni money, you come back and you find 100. According to Rebbe, what happened was you used 100, you just forgot. According to Chachamim, we're dealing with different money. What was here initially is gone, here's new money. What if you put your chametz in one corner and you find it in another corner? Are we dealing with the same chametz? The Gemara says that's similar to the case where you have an axe. You come and you can't find it anymore. Or you come and you find the axe in another part of your house. What happened was, a not such nice guy came to your house and used your axe. That guy is a ganav. He's a Jew ganav. Therefore, he's probably not careful with tumah. It's very possible that this ganav went searching around your whole house. He touched other things in your house. Everything in your house is tummy. Reb Shimon Gamliel says everything in the house is tar. What happened was, and this happens very often, you probably lent it to someone and you forgot who you lent it to, and that's why it's gone. You probably put it in the other corner and you just absentmindedly forgot. What if you see a mouse walking into the house with bread in its mouth? You come in, you find crumbs everywhere. Mice don't leave crumbs; they eat everything up. Therefore, you have to do another bdika. You have to find where these crumbs originated from. However, if you see a child going in with a piece of bread, children leave crumbs, and you don't have to do another bdika. Because it says we're talking about that you found enough crumbs for an entire bread. What if a mouse goes in? You see mouse A go into the house with a piece of bread, then all of a sudden you see a mouse leaving the house. Is it the same mouse with the same bread? And if you'll say, maybe not, what if you see a white mouse going into the house and a black mouse leaving the house? Now, over here, there are for sure two different mice. Perhaps mouse B has another piece of bread in his mouth, or maybe he stole it from mouse A. If you say that mice don't steal from each other, what if you see a weasel leaving the house, not another color mouse? But the question is, if it's a weasel, why doesn't he have a mouse in his mouth? He likes meat as well. Well, maybe he took it from the mouse, but then he should have both a mouse and a piece of bread. Maybe the bread fell out of the Gemara says maybe the bread should still be in the mouse's mouth, and the mouse should be in the weasel's mouth. Perhaps not. Perhaps out of fear, the bread fell out of the mouse's mouth. The weasel should have grabbed the mouse and the bread. The Gemara remains in the teiku. What if you have bread on a high up beam that requires a ladder? Are you mechuyev to go get a ladder? Do we say typically it's not going to fall down by itself, or once in a while it does fall down, you come to eat it? And if so, what if the bread is in a pit? It's not going to fly upwards, but maybe you'll need to do something in the pit and you'll come to eat it. The Gemara also says, what if the bread is inside a mouth of a snake? Snake is eating it. Are you mechuyev to go call up a professional snake tamer and get the bread out of his mouth? Or you don't have to, you're not required to spend money on b'dikas chametz. Says the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda says, if you didn't check R Eli the night before Pesach, check the morning of the following morning, Erev Pesach. And if not, you could check into the 6th hour. Chacham say if you didn't check in the 6th hour, you could check the rest of the day. So the Gemara explains that what Rabbi Yehuda is saying is that not that you have to check 3 times, but you have an opportunity. If you miss the night, check in the morning. Miss the morning, check by the 6th hour, but that's it. Because Rabbi Yehuda holds that if you're going to be checking for chametz after the 6th hour, you find chametz, you might come to eat it. Rabbanan say we're not choishish that you're going to come to eat it. According to Taisvis, Chachamim mean to say that if you didn't check Erev Yontif, you have to check even on Yontif. If not on Yontif, you have to check even after Yontif, because you might come to find chametz Shavuot of Pesach. And in fact, that's the halacha. If you forget to do b'dikas chametz, you must do so after Pesach. Have a wonderful day.